Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's footy fantasy, yeah, watching footy fantasy, footy fantasy. It is sure say the thing go meet your football me, your football me. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive, sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see, your eyes go see. It's footy fantasy, footy fantasy.
And we're live. Welcome back to Footy Fantasy, another edition of your favorite podcast. And we're here for the international break. We're here to keep you entertained, And we have fantastic guests with us today. But before I do the introduction, I'll just do some housekeeping, as we usually do at the start. Footy Fantasy YouTube's channel is at Footy Fantasy. And our Twitter handle is at FootyAD Fantasy. Instagram is at Fantasy Footy. And that lovely theme music, I was bopping my head along to it again. This was made by ESJ Music. So reach out to them if you want more of that. We have our first comment of the day already. Ayo is saying, welcome, my people. Yeah, apologies for starting a bit late. I had technical issues. Which involved Andy, my baby. So that's my excuse. I have a valid excuse. But let me introduce our guests. Today we have fantastic guests with us. I'm sure, regular listeners or regular viewers will know these faces, but we'll introduce them once again. Let's start with Howard. Oh, he's already taking off his glasses. He means business today. He's already taking off his glasses.
No business. I'm putting him back on.
We have Benny with us. Benny is a Chelsea fan. We're happy to have you once again, Benny. Let's get ready, because I can see you're drinking water, taking off your glasses, so I can feel the fire already. Welcome, Benny. And also we have Obi with us. He's an Arsenal fan, and I don't know. I think this Man United fan Ayo is already throwing shades. I don't know. I think it's too early. Let us even welcome the guests first before we start throwing shades now, please. Ayo is asking, Ovi, another year, no trophy. Let us pack that first. Let us just even welcome you. Let us make you feel welcome. Ovi, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here. Don't worry. Let's see how things play out.
All right. Well, it's the international break, like we all know, and we just have a variety of topics because there's not much going on the club front. It'll be just more or less just some very unique topics, maybe. Also some things that we can discuss that pertain to our clubs. I'll start with the first topic of the day. Let's take that comment off the screen and just go straight to the topic of the day. The first one. And remove Aya's comment. All right. So, this is about luck in football. There's been a lot of chat about that. Coming from me, I'm a Liverpool fan. I've seen all kinds of stories about Liverpool being lucky this season. It's for me, it's not annoying because I believe in football. Whatever you do, people will talk. Even if you win all your matches, 38 games in a season, people will find something to throw shit at you. It's just football. So I'm not even see my name there that I put on the screen is all the asterisks. I've been putting asterisks in my name since 2020 when Liverpool won the league, and everybody told us that, asterisks on your league title. I said, bring it on. I put it in my name. I own it. So that's why I've been putting asterisks in my name since 2020 when Liverpool won the league. So I don't really care about that kind of thing. But I know some of our fans or some people get, not just even Liverpool fans. I remember last season when I was saying to an Arsenal fan that you guys have been a bit lucky with injury. And he was so adamant. He was like, no, it's not luck. It's not that. Like, well, football, I feel football has an element of luck. But the question now I want to throw out to you guys is luck controllable in a way, or is it random? When it comes to football. I'll start with you, Benny. what do you feel about luck in football? When people talk about luck, is it just something that is random? Something that is it something? Can you put yourself in a position to exploit luck, or just luck just happen in football? What do you think?
Well, I'm of the opinion that luck is just when proper preparation meets opportunity. I think that you know, I believe so. I guess if you want to define luck as just the stars aligning for something to happen, then yes, I believe there is an element of luck in football, but it also requires you to, take advantage of that. So, is it controllable? Part of it is, I think, and I'm a recovering financial auditor. So, something about audits. They talk about inherent risk and talk about control risk and detection risk. Inherent risk is something you have no control over. Like you combine all that, control risk is making sure the risk that the things you put in place don't catch those risks of everything, and detection risk that you don't detect those things. So all that combines into the risk of an audit, right? So that's the way I see luck. There are certain things you have no control over. Opportunities fall into place. I don't know if my video is frozen, but I guess it is. But opportunities coming into place at the right time, falling on your lap. But then you have to have, the ability to take advantage of those opportunities. So I think that part of it is controllable. You can't fully control everything. You can't control the way things happen. You can't control, a keeper, playing that ball, just miskicking and hitting you in the chest as a striker. You also have to be able to convert it, right? So I think just in general, and that's simplifying it, oversimplifying it a bit, but there are many things that just just happen. You can only control the way you take advantage of them. And I think that's what you can prepare to do. So footballers train hard, strikers train to finish, teams train with several tactics to take advantage of whatever the situation gives them. And the difference between teams that are considered lucky and teams that are considered unlucky is that the ones that are lucky take advantage of those opportunities, and the ones that are unlucky don't have what it takes to seal the deal. I'll give a classic example for me because I'm a Chelsea fan. I have to bring this up. 2012, Barcelona versus Chelsea. Actually, not even the one in Camp Nou, the one in at Stamford Bridge. We had one chance, and Drogba finished it. Finished just one chance in a game where there was a constant onslaught of everything. And people want to say, Chelsea just played anti-football, but they knew what they had. They knew that Barcelona were far better. We knew that they were leaps and bounds better than us. And Barcelona came with the volume and everything, the way they played, okay, we're going to play whatever. And they just didn't have, I guess, what it took to take those opportunities that they had. They had multiple opportunities and it just didn't work for them. We had one and we're clinical. And the rest is history. But I think luck to an extent is controllable. You can't control all of it, but I'd say about 50% of it is on you to be ready to take advantage of those opportunities.
Okay, well, good summation. Excuse me. Let me just put this guy is coming. He's coming with fire on Arsenal fans today. Ayo is Ayo is really firing. I'm reading a comment here that he said. Ayo says he remembers arguing with an Arsenal fan 2 seasons ago that they were lucky with injuries, and he told me that they recruited robot players. Ayo says he messaged the guy recently, and the guy blocked him. My goodness, wow! that Arsenal fan didn't take it well at all. Wow, blocking people because of football. Wow, that's a bit extreme. But let me quickly take the second comment from Oga Kwame before I come to you, Ovi. Oga Kwame said, I don't even know what the topic is, but I just want to tell Benny to run me my Sancho money. No return policy out there. Wow. Sancho, this freedom fighter, please. What's your response to that, Benny, before I go to Ovi?
Sancho money. Let's play a game for it, I beg. Whoever wins, keep Sancho and money. Actually, no. Whoever loses takes Sancho and the money. It's no one the guy again, I beg.
And Ayo is Sorry, Obi, just final comments. I was giving Benny a round of applause. He says, Benny, giving us audit class for free. Thank you, Benny. Over to you, Obi. Obi, what do you think? And I mean, you can respond to all these United fans that have been coming out, cooking against you. I give you the floor to respond to that before you answer the topic.
I mean, I've not seen anything too hostile yet. All I saw was
Famous last words.
Ayo
Famous last word.
about the friend who blocked him or something. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like Benny said, it's a little bit of both. There's only so much you can control, and then there's so much that is random. I'm not even talking about game state or playing the ball, hitting somebody, or having a chance and missing it or hitting the post. I'm even talking about those. Like in this context, I think this is coming. This question is coming from the context of injuries. I think so. It's and I said this to one of my Liverpool friends early in the season, and I was like, I don't think I want Arsenal to win the league. I think Arsenal has the best team to win the league, but we are not getting the breaks that champions get. And I was saying at the time, I was like, if you look at the Man City game that we played 2-2 in Bundesliga, where we're down to 10 men for more than half of the game, about half of the game, and we held on defending so resolutely until the very last kick of the game. I was like, champions win that game. That's it. It's just, you can say, oh, they were unlucky, they did everything, they were just fine. That's fine. You're a champion. That's where the luck is. You are going to win that game. And that's how you know champions. It's not, and sometimes everything aligns, which is fine. There's nothing wrong in that. So Liverpool fans, when they say you're lucky, there's nothing to be angry about. It's a fact.
Mhm.
Champions need luck. That's just how it is. The clubs are
Yeah.
so good. There's very little separating those the top 3, 5 clubs. You need luck to go your way. And luck might mean you rotate well, so you reduce chances of injuries. Luck might win, you win a game you're not supposed to win. It could be so many things. So at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong in saying your team is lucky with injuries. Fine, that's fine. Arsenal were lucky with injuries last season. Even Mikel Arteta said it after the season that we were lucky because we had Gabriel and Saliba pretty much the whole season. Unlike the season before where we lost Saliba
Saliba. Yeah.
in this. People always forget Saliba and Tomiyasu in the same game, and we had to go straight to Rob Holding. So that's pretty much where we crumbled from. So last season we pretty much had the two centre backs, Odegaard, Saka, Declan Rice, fit all season, and we did very well. We came second just by 2 points, and you can tell the difference. It's the same thing I would say, for example, with a team like Man U or Tottenham. Yes, they're not great teams, but they're not the 13th and 14th fifth best team in the league. They should be in the top half of the table, but the injuries have decimated them to the point where they are in the bottom half. Liverpool won the league a few years ago, and the next season got decimated with injuries and came fifth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it plays it. And I told my friend the LSC, I was telling him, if Salah gets injured, I don't care what Liverpool does. Liverpool is not winning the league. It's that simple. And I told him the same. I said, if Saka gets injured and misses a huge chunk of the season, Arsenal is not winning the league. It's just that simple. So there's nothing to be personal about or take it personal. All you can do is control the one you can control by rotating, by doing the best, making sure your team is good. What will hurt Arsenal and why their fans are so angry, I think this is because a lot of things that have happened to Arsenal was stuff that fans were predicting already. We play Saka too much. We play Havertz too much. So a lot of times when you say those things and it doesn't go that way and then the club seem to be right, you say, okay, that's why we're not in that business. We are just fans and they are the people that are running the business. But when you are not right, you kind of feel more angry because you're like, if I can say it,
Yeah.
I can say it.
Yeah.
So that's where it's coming from, I think, one. And the fact that before the season started, we're one attacker short, Jesus got injured, Saka got injured. They were like, we've lost 2 players. We already won down before. 2 players are down again, 2 key players. And then they were like, nobody's as good enough. Let's wait. And then
This sounds very familiar to Liverpool, honestly.
immediately the market closed. Havertz injured, and then Martinelli got injured. So, yes, I mean, you can say, "Oh, my have been played so much," but I don't. That's the love they cannot control because in their mind they say, "Well, Saka is back. He'll be back in March, April, but the rest of the team will be fine." Alves never gets injured. He will play, and then he got injured. So there's nothing they can control about that. You can't buy anybody anymore. It's late now. So that's the part. But the annoying part was like we're already down. We lost players, and you didn't replace them. So that's what we're angry from. That's one. But there's only so much you can do. Like another of us, like I was saying, we buy robust players. Yes, you can buy robust players, sure, but they can still get injured. They're human beings, so right. And that's what happened to us now. Saka hardly gets injured, Odegaard hardly gets injured, Alves hardly gets injured. All three get injured in the same season.
Physically robust, or like what do you mean robust? Like,
no, like they don't have a history of injuries. Like if you're buying, think about if you're buying Declan Rice, or if you're buying, let's say, Leroy Sané, you have more confidence in Declan Rice being fit. He plays every game for club and country, right? When he's fit, almost every season. So that's a physically robust player. He hardly gets injured. He has very few injuries in his career. He's already 25, 26. I mean, you can bank money on that. Doesn't mean it will happen, but your chances are higher because this is a player that just naturally hardly gets injured, which is fine, which is what you should do as a smart club. I mean, you're spending 100 million on a player. You don't want a player that's going to be injured. You want a player that's fit, right? So that makes sense, which is fine. But I'm saying that even at that, you can still get injured because all it takes is one misstep, and that's it. Havertz hardly gets injured. Havertz was in the top. I think it was top 2 or top 3 players for miles or distance covered, and was the only attacker in the top 5 or top 10. All the rest are midfielders. So he's a physically robust player, but he can still get injured, and he's gotten injured. So I get what the person was saying that he bought. Yeah, we did, but now you've played those guys, you've run those guys into the ground. And you're lucky because they all got injured around the same time. So that's the luck part. But there's things you could have done, maybe rotate them out to some games, keep them from playing some games, maybe. But all that is just after the fact. It doesn't really mean anything because players have been rested and then next day they come back and they get injured. It doesn't matter. All you can do is do what you can do, and the rest happens.
Do you not feel like this is a recurring excuse though? Every single year, there's always something. And perhaps
no. Like you said, last year Arsenal didn't have many.
We have injuries.
My point. That's my point. So even when you like, we're talking about the end goal because it's not talking about just running a club to go from start to finish, start of the season to the end of the season. There's always a goal. So we have to think about things from the perspective of whether or not you achieve that goal. And you've always come short of that goal for one reason or another. And somehow it's like, oh, Lord, this, not that.
They are good. No. Arsenal's, no, you have to understand, Benny. The owners of Arsenal, I know I'm speaking on OB's behalf. The owners of Arsenal, their goal is to enter top 4 to enter Champions League. That's their minimum. That's their for them.
You could sign that.
No, like I said.
No, your fans want to win the league, but your owners are not so fussed about it.
Like I said, nobody. That's why I love Premier League or any sporting event. Every new season is everybody goes to the season thinking this can be our year, right? Beginning of season, Chelsea are thinking if we get a good run, we have enough players, you can maybe make Champions League, maybe we even win the league. Nobody knows. Anybody can go in there. Like you go into the season. One is in there. Arsenal are going to most likely come second 3 years in a row. But the very first season, we didn't go into that season thinking we're going to go win the league. We surprised everybody and surprised ourselves by doing so well and came second. Last season was the first season where people thought, okay, you know what? We can win the league. And then they didn't win it. They were off by 2 points. Once you're off by 2 points, you could have won the league. It's just one game. Switching one way, you have won the league. You could have won the league.
Okay.
So last season was the first season where you can say Arsenal fans thought we can win the league, right? They did, which is fine. It happens to everybody. This season they said, okay, we probably will win. Man City is getting older. We should win. And then Liverpool came from nowhere. Fine, it happens. Like that's life. There's nothing There's nothing wrong with that. You've done your best. You've tried. All you can do is go again next season. That's all you can do. Until you win it.
That's my point. I'm a bit more like cut and dry with like, what you plan, what happens, and how you assess things. If you have a goal of winning the league, for instance, most people thought, and maybe not everybody, but most people thought Arsenal were favorites for this season. Most people thought, actually, maybe last season, some people did too, like, okay, a few voices, but this season for sure, most people thought, oh, Arsenal win the league. Liverpool have a new coach who, I mean, it's crazy what he's done with Liverpool this season. Man City were aging and everything like that, and they had a catastrophe, whatever. Tottenham will be Tottenham. Chelsea have babies playing, so I don't know anybody that said we're going to do anything better, and a baby coach as well. But Arsenal were clear favorites for this season, and given the history of all that, I don't think that if you come here and say, okay, life happens and everything like that, that's almost defeatist in my opinion. You can call it whatever, but you had the opportunity, things that were avoidable. And you said that already. So I'm sorry, I'm just a little blunt. Like, Arsenal just failed. They just crap the bed essentially.
Okay.
I don't think so. Well, let's take comments. Let's take comments because I can feel this is going to deviate into Arsenal season. This is not just about Arsenal season. This is just overall. This is not just an Arsenal thing. But we'll take comments.
I will always find a way. It needs to be about.
Let's take comments because there are a lot of comments piling up. But for me, I'll just quickly give my perspective. I agree with Ovi. I understand what you're saying, Benny, that maybe it feels like it's like excuse making, but it's the reality on ground. There's some things you can control and there's some things you can't control. That's just it. Like last season, I'll give you a quick example for Liverpool. We had so many injuries. We're using academic players that even we are fans of, we don't even know these academic players. Against Chelsea in the final that we beat you guys. We're using academic players that had not even smelt under 18. They have not played under 18 consistent, and they played the Carling Cup final. Yes, and there's some players that are not even consistent. The injuries were so bad that we had to, even our second team players were getting injured. Second team players.
That's my point.
And they won. Okay, yeah, they won. But that doesn't.
Nobody remembers.
But that doesn't happen all the time, bro. That does not happen all the time, bro. That does not happen all the time. That's the one.
Point. You take what you have. That's true luck right there. You take what you have, prepare yourself, regardless of whatever opposition you're getting, and you get the result. It's all results.
True, bro. Yes. Okay, Benny, I agree. We want our final, but let me tell you what happened in the league title race. Liverpool were leading with 10 games to go. We're leading the league to 10 games to go. What happened? We finished third because of all those injuries. So even though we won the Carling Cup, people were even shouting that we might win the quadruple. At the end of the day, we won one boo, like Dayo would say. So that's the overall result of all those injuries. That at the end of the day, even though we won that cup final, it still caught up with us. All the injuries caught up with us because we fell from first, leading the league, till third place. So that's why I agree with Ovi that it's not excuse making. Of course, it's true that you can take better decisions. For me, Arsenal should have bought a striker in January, at the minimum. At the minimum, a striker. So that's on them. That's the one you can blame them for that. Why didn't the club go ahead and do that? So that's on them. But there's some things you can't control. Like you can't control Havertz just suddenly picking up a random injury where he's never gotten injured. But this happened to Liverpool last season to where Salah, who never got injured, Salah got injured last season. He got injured for weeks. He was out. He went to AFCON. He got injured. Came back, played one game, got injured again. So those things you can't control. Like Salah, who never gets injured, got injured last season. So things like that happen. But let me take comments anyway. It's not like, okay, we're just making excuse for failure. Yeah, I understand what you mean, that make the best of what you have. But sometimes there are so many bad things that go on that, man, look at the season after we won the league. Like Ovi said, all our defenders were out. Van Dijk injured. Matip injured. We had to go and start using Reece Williams. That even some of us didn't even know this guy existed. We had to go and bring him from academy to play the season. Where did Liverpool finish? We finished third. We didn't even smell title race that season. So it happens, but yeah, you should make the best of what you have. Let me quickly take a comment from Henry. Thank you, Henry, for joining us. He's a regular contributor to this podcast. Henry says, actually, Arsenal haven't been lucky with injuries. They've always been maybe men's 1 or 2 injuries or players short, and I blame the ball coaches and owners primarily. Yeah, I think every club suffer. Let's not pretend that injuries don't happen to other clubs. Chelsea too have injured players this season. So when you say Arsenal always have one or two injuries, yeah, everybody has that. It's just some people get it worse than some other people. That's it. Some clubs get it worse. So we can't really say it's only Arsenal that have one or two injuries every season. All of us suffer that. Oga Kwame says didn't qualify. What was this guy talking about? I'm sure he's talking about Calafiori. He said didn't cauliflower also get injured for it. Is that true, Ovi? Please, just quick answer.
It should be out.
Calafiori is out.
They're saying the next 2-3 weeks. That's what they're saying.
Wow. Okay, that's sad. That's what we mean. See, the injuries just keep piling up. It's crazy. Henry says that's why Arsenal implode, and he said, but Partey was out.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. If these guys keep getting injured or whatever, come on now. He has an excuse now. Maybe the guy needs to change training tactics or whatever. It's clearly overworking those guys.
Yeah, but Ovi admitted it. He said that they should have been complaining that Saka was playing too much. So yeah, it happens. Let's quickly round up the comments, then I'll come back to Ovi to respond to some of this. Because if we're replying one by one, we will not leave this segment. So let me just read out the comments, and Ovi can give an overall view, and Ben, you two can give an overall view, then we'll just round up. So Henry says, Henry says we over-rely and overwork our players with no suitable replacement. You see, they're admitting it. They're not denying it, Benny. They are admitting it. Oga Kwame says, honestly, for United, it's not the injuries that put us in 15th. We're just shit. I know United are not great, but I think injuries play a part. I know Oga Kwame would never admit to it. I always argue this thing with him. I said, man, you guys suffer a lot of injuries too, but United fans just think, no, we're just shit. I don't know. Anyway, Henry says, I have never seen a club that sees the handwriting on the wall but fail to completely react. They are always reactive instead of being proactive when it comes to transfer. Yeah, so we're all saying the same thing. I don't know what Ben is arguing.
We can't be blaming like just this bad luck that's happening. Injuries happens. It's just bad luck. We can't be blaming that.
But it's part of it too. There's bad luck too, because like Albert has never gotten injured and then he got injured. Is that not bad luck?
You just said it. He has never been this overworked. He's never been this overworked without a replacement. That's not luck. That's just poor planning.
Yeah, but it was robust. He could cope with it before. Didn't he? He could cope with it before.
Calm down. I'm not sure if you're just trying to create some.
That one did it too. That one did, yes. I'm trying to.
That one did it too.
Nobody came here and said anything about it. We're just trying to state the fact, right? We are seasonal commentators on sport, on soccer. We watch soccer.
Yes.
If Salah gets injured, Liverpool cannot win the league. It doesn't matter what they do. If Man City is not in discussion this season because Rodri is out, it's not an excuse. It's just a fact. It's a simple fact.
Yeah.
If your best player is out early in the season, in September, whenever Rodri got injured, there was no way Man City was going to win the league. And from that point, there was just no way.
Okay.
This was the first season where everybody thought Arsenal were the favorites to win the league. Last season, Arsenal was still the favorite. Arsenal is the favorite for the first time this season. Okay, if you're the favorite and you don't win, the war has not ended. You try again next year. This is the first time you're favorite, right?
As long as you're not relegated, you try again. We get that. That's fine.
What I'm saying is, if you are the favorite and you come second, okay, you've not done. The war has not ended. You came second, right?
My question is why? That's the question. It's not about.
So they came second this season because of the amount of injuries that happened to them.
What would you blame the injuries on? That's my point. What would you blame the injuries on? Is it just a poor stroke of luck? Or is it poor planning?
For us now, because a combination of both. Because one, they needed to buy more players at the beginning of the season. That was clear.
Right.
They gambled on the fact of Arsenal have gotten to the point where Liverpool were a few years ago. They feel like to improve the squad, there are only a few select players they can buy.
Thank you.
Arsenal have to a way that they work in a very economical and wise way. They don't just go and just say, well, I want Isaac, I'll take 200 million, bring Isaac. They will say, I want a striker, my budget is 50 to 70 million. The guy I really like is 120, so we can buy him. Don't wait. So that's the mistake they made. No, I'm not coming to say, oh, Arsenal did the right thing. Nobody's saying that. We're just telling you the fact, right?
Right.
The injuries are much. Gives Arsenal no chance. Without the injuries, maybe they had a chance. If there's no guarantee would have won the league. But at least we would have been in the discussion to contest
Right.
Liverpool. But without that, they cannot contest.
Where we disagree, because we both agree that there's a combination. You say there's a combination of luck and poor planning.
Yeah.
Where we disagree is how much percentage you give to luck there. I think it's overwhelmingly poor planning. You've just talked about the decision making on the things they chose not to do. They gambled on things. That's on you. Injuries are a result of a lot of things you didn't plan for properly. These are not injuries. I understand injuries of like contact or whatever, like player came to break his leg or whatever. I understand that. But injuries from wear and tear, where you overwork your players, you can't blame that on luck. You're just hoping, you're just gambling that they don't fall.
Okay, so relax. So nobody knows when every player is going to get a hamstring. If not, no player will ever get hamstring.
Exactly.
But you just rest the player the match before. If you knew that, right? If I know that,
exactly.
Yes, but there are triggers.
I relax.
But there's a relationship between a positive relationship between overworking your players and injury. You know
but
that.
The luck, we all agree. The luck.
There's the luck too, yes. There's the luck too, yes.
Don't talk about that. The luck is that. The luck is that.
Style of play matters too. Okay, let's round up this section. Sorry.
Sorry, one quick question for you.
The luck is that they were short. They got to the yes, but they felt the mistake Arsenal made was not in January. I can assure you guys, it was in the summer.
Yeah, I think
the players that they want is not available in January. That player is not available. The player that they should have got to was in the summer, but they didn't push the boat hard enough because they just felt we are very good already. If I just kind of continue to grind out this level from these players, we can still win the league.
And then look for the next level player.
Yeah,
that's the
question.
Do you know why? Wait, Benny, wait. Benny, you ask your question. Benny, you ask your question.
And I'm not that they made it right.
Ovi, let's round up this sector. Wait, Ovi. Let me read comments. The comments are really powered up, so I have to catch through the comments. We cannot let our viewers just make comments and we don't address them. But Benny, don't feel like I'm being supportive of Ovi because I like trolling Arsenal fans. But
I just like attacking Arsenal fans. It's fine.
Yeah, no, but let me tell you why I'm sympathetic. Let me tell you why I'm sympathetic to him, because we have seen this happen in Liverpool, where we get to a level, like you said, that the squad is so good that we feel like, no, it's not about just buy a player to back up what we have. We want to buy the next level player, and then we will not buy anybody. We end up not buying anybody, and the injuries happen. This movie that's happening to them has happened to Liverpool at least twice since in the last 10 years, where we just go into a season, we don't buy anybody. Like, we're waiting for that next level player, and then injuries just scatter everything. So it's poor planning, but there's also luck. I'll give a quick example. Diogo Jota gets injured a lot for Liverpool, but some people will say he's unlucky with injuries, but me, I don't feel he's unlucky with injuries. I feel, apart from not being physically robust, his style of play, he gets into a lot of impacts, collisions, and he goes into tackles like just without any sense. And of course, if you see Salah, he systematically pulls out of challenges. You will not see Salah going into 50-50. Even though he's robust, but he's also smart with the kind of challenges he jumps into. But there's some players, they'll just go full-blooded, bam, any tackle, any collision. Jota, in the past 2 seasons, he has gotten bad injuries because of that. Stupid, just going full-blooded, bam, and everything is injured. You know you're not physically robust, and then you're throwing yourself into stupid challenges. And that's not luck. That's stupidity. That's stupidity. If you know you're not physically robust, then you pull out of you don't have to make it obvious, because fans will get angry. Fans will say, this guy is a coward, he's pulling out. But you see Salah. You rarely see Salah going into a stupid 50-50. He has very nice way of pulling out. So that's what I mean. That also matters. So it's not just luck. Stupidity, sense matters too. So we just say comment, and you ask after this comment, Benny, after the comment, then you ask Ovi the final question, and then we'll go to the next topic. Okay, so Henry had said Ovi, prior to that injury, Arsenal were 2 key players down. Okay, and Oga Kwame says, Benny, I think they meant robust like Cardi B, Oatmeal FC. This Oga Kwame is not serious. He said that man, Ayo said Oga Kwame now. That man said Oatmeal FC. Henry says, I didn't say it was only Arsenal though. When in my statement they did repeat that. Yeah, so that's what I was trying to say. We should not make this just an Arsenal thing. I mean, this topic was just a general topic. But I know Benny wants to make it an Arsenal thing. That's Chelsea fan. That's now Henry also said, remember guys, it was a physiotherapist that went to Man U and see what happened to their injury record after they hired the Arsenal physiotherapist. It's throwing the shade at United fans. Yeah, you guys, your injuries are so many. I don't know. I know you guys, your club is not well run, but yeah, injury is also a factor. Henry says, yeah, he blames the coach. I mean, for Arsenal and the board and them lacking the killer instinct. Yeah, of course, they're not saying they're not to blame. We're saying they're not to blame, but just saying luck is also still part of it.
You have been on this Arsenal side too long. Just let it happen. Just stay on your corner. Stay on Liverpool corner.
Okay. Henry says we've done is poor planning. And then Henry says because they weren't decisive enough, okay, that method ends up in premium tiers, self-preservation. Exactly. Okay, Benny, 2-minute section. Ask your question and Ovi respond and we'll round up the section.
I'll ask a question now because we both agree that there's a element of bad planning by the board, whatever, and luck. Just for effect, if you were to split that 100%, what would you blame? What percentage would you give to bad luck? What percentage would you give to poor planning?
So I mean,
just humor me, please. Just humor me.
So if, like I said,
give figures. Ovi, just
honestly, I would say 60-40, 60 for the bad planning, just because we as Arsenal fans had a great season last season. But you know what was so talking about last season? It's not coming second. Second was painful. But when I watched Arsenal play Bayern Munich, and we couldn't, in the second half, when we just needed a goal to tie the match, we couldn't even muster enough of a fight. So I think I came out of the season saying, out of that match, saying we need a player that can make a difference in the box, right? So we all knew that we need an attacking player that will come and help us move us up a bit to the next level. And then you don't buy anybody, so that's where the poor planning comes already. So I agree, poor planning is there, but in January people said, "Oh, nobody could have bought." The only guy that could have bought was Watkins, and it's not like as if they came and went to go and buy Watkins. Aston Villa came to Arsenal and said, we need to sell one player. We know Durant is talking to Saudi, but we're not sure if it's to go through. We need to sell one player. Which one do you want? And it's okay, we can do Watkins, but the prices do not align. And Saudi followed through and made that deal go. If Saudi did not follow through, then Arsenal would have had a chance to buy Watkins. That's just what happened. There was no player of the level Arsenal need in terms of that. But it doesn't mean they shouldn't have bought somebody. I'm just saying that for them, they should have gone and loan Morata or somebody. They should have just loaned somebody.
Just bring a body in.
Because if Morata can
so Benny,
he can rest the player. He can give some player.
Okay, so sorry, Ovi, you said so 60-40. So Benny, what do you think? Do you think 60-40 is not fair? You think it should be more? Benny,
you know I won't agree with him. You know I won't. It's more like
tell us what you think. I mean percentage by
actually 90-10. 90-10. That's all. Look, we can sit here and try to get love. It's 90-10.
Let's go to the next topic. 90-10.
Last statement. Jesus got injured in January, right? And is out for the season.
That was not a surprise. That was not a surprise, though. That's not a surprise.
Let me list my point. Jesus got injured in January and is out for the season. Saka got injured in December and is out till April. Martinelli got injured in February and is pretty much came back in March. And then who's the last one? Who's the attacker that we lost? Forgotten the name now. Havertz got injured in early February and is out for the season. So take that. Those are 4 players. I always like to compare Arsenal and Liverpool because they're very similar teams. So that's equivalent to Salah, Darwin Núñez, Diogo Jota, and maybe the Colombian guy. What's his name? Remind me, Luis Diaz. That's equivalent to those 4 being out for a period of 1 or 2 months, where you're not playing McAllister as your striker. You just put in the comments. So facts are facts.
No, I'm not arguing with you because I've been in that situation. Liverpool have been in that situation.
How you got to that point? You can debate what happened.
You rotate players better at Liverpool. This current season, you have probably the same number of strikers, but the rotation there compared to what you guys are doing in Arsenal, it's not the same. It's not the same.
But we rotate, but Liverpool, we also had injuries this season.
Yeah,
we had injuries. We didn't have it in one area of the squad.
As much as Arsenal is feeling right now. You rotate
Benny, rotating players does not mean you will not get injuries. The problem with Arsenal is they got all that. Wait. The problem with Arsenal and Liverpool that has happened to us is when you have injuries in one area of the squad, like 4 injuries in one area of the squad, it's a big problem. Like it's like losing all your center backs or all your central defenders. How much planning can you do for that? Do you go into a season thinking you lose all your center backs in the season, or do you go into a season thinking you lose all your forwards? That's what we're saying. Planning cannot mitigate for that, because you don't go into a season expecting that you will lose all your forwards.
Today is the 23rd of March 2025. Mark, next year we'll be having this same discussion again. Just watch. There's a trend there, but you're clearly willing to ignore it. Liverpool did not play the same way Arsenal did. Let's be honest with ourselves. But
we still got injuries, though. Did
you feel it? Did you have that many injuries in one area at that? This is,
Yeah, but it's not usual. It's not usual.
Benny,
sorry.
One thing I'm forgetting sometimes that injuries is not just based on one season. Liverpool getting injuries the season after they won was not from that season. It was from this previous season when they won the league.
But they're not playing. Yes.
Amount over, right? Over time.
You're on Klopp, and this new guy Arne Slot don't play the same style of football. You know that.
Fine.
But the press that Klopp, the high octane.
But we still have injuries. We still have injuries this season too.
Okay. So let me just stop it. This is a longer conversation. Let me just stop it.
Okay, let's round up. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Let's round up and move to the next topic. Okay, let's round up and move to the next topic.
Fits, right? Salah and Saka both start, right? Salah has played more minutes than Saka before he got injured. But Saka is the one that got injured. People say, oh, we play our players too much. I was like, who are you comparing Saka to? Foden gets rested in Man City and still gets more injured than Saka. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it happen. Okay, next topic. Name Benny, name one result that could potentially change your season for the better this season. One result, any competition. Like a result that you think that if this result has gone your way. Wait, are you answering the question already?
I'm answering the question already. For Chelsea.
I didn't hear you. For Chelsea, yes.
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Yes.
It's well documented how I feel about the owners and how I feel about the way.
I'm talking about one result. Where is this owner talk coming from now?
Wait, now, because my answer is not going to be it's not a novel answer. It's not okay.
We expect that abnormal answer.
Serious. Our win against Copenhagen, I wish that was a loss. Here's why. I wish we had lost that game, because that win papers over the massive cracks that we have in the club, and the fans, for some reason, are not focused. They started, protesting the owners, but because we started winning some stupid games that are gimmies like Southampton and whatever, and now we have a chance to win this conference, UEFA Conference League, it will blind fights against the fact that these owners are terrible owners. Yeah. So I wish, and obviously Chelsea fans everywhere will like, Benny's not a real Chelsea fan. I'm a real Chelsea fan because I know that winning is all that matters. Nobody cares how you got there. You win, that's what people remember. If you're here signing small players that are babies that will never grow into their full potential because you feel, under 25 players that the future want to buy and sell, want to replicate the Brighton model, you're not going to win anything. And I'll be damned if I'm comfortable with not winning anything. I'll be damned. I'll be an Arsenal fan. I don't know what to be that kind of
Hey, please, hey, white flag. White flag. I'm the moderator. I don't want war. I want peace. I don't want problems.
What's your name? Are you Voltron the defender? Who asked you to come and defend Arsenal fans?
No. I'm just saying no. Okay, wait. I want to answer in answer to your question. No. I'm not cutting. Ben, I'm not cutting. You said Copenhagen, but when was that result? I want the context. When was it? Copenhagen.
It was both legs. The first leg we won 2-1, and then the second one we won 1-0. I wish we'd lost that tie somehow.
When was it? Was it early in the season or where?
No. The most recent Conference League final.
Oh, most recent one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just the most recent Conference League. The round of 16 or whatever.
Okay.
Because the season is we look like we're going to finish top 4 or top 5, whatever. If I can't just pick one game in the season to say I wish we lost that. No. This is one that we say, okay, there's actually no silverware to this. So it shows how much of a failure we've been this season. We might get top 4 and stay in Champions League. That's fine, although it's looking unlikely. But my point is that the win papers over the massive cracks at the club right now. The identity has changed so much, and I am not comfortable with that change. And I don't like that. And a lot of Chelsea fans don't like it, but they don't know how to say it, because if you just say, oh, you don't want your team to succeed, it's like you're not a real fan. But I know that winning is all that matters, and nothing we do right now will ever get us any kind of silverware that's proper. Conference League, anybody can win it. I don't even count that one. That one's not a trophy.
What?
Conference League, let's be honest, anybody can win it. Anybody can win it, I beg. So
okay, Benny, you're really vexing. Really vexing. But yeah, I understand what you mean. I mean, when you talk about your owners, I empathize with you, because I'm going to come to Liverpool owners later. But let's take this comment from Ayo, Man United fan. Ayo says he wishes United lost to Coventry in the FA Cup last season. Yeah, well, I mean, it still stands. It says that tight VAR call at 3-3 kept Ten Hag in the job and dug United in the deeper hole. That's fair enough. Yeah, there's some what? Okay, there's some wins that the club. Like, I understand what Ben is saying. There's some wins that just paper over cracks, and yeah, like maybe you're just you're best off not winning that game for the longer benefits. Ovi, do you have any result you think if you change it this season, the course of the season might have changed? Just one result, any competition.
Yeah, so I mean, for us, it's not what they're beating Arsenal over the head with these days. Oh, it's been 4 or 5 years since you won a trophy. I mean, right? There's no Arsenal fan who is watching, or who's here, who's saying, I'm happy with this season. There's no Arsenal fan saying that, because we have, like I said, this is the first season where most Arsenal fans came in saying we're going to win this season. We all saw the decline of Man City, and immediately Rodri got injured. That was like, we're like that's it. We should win this season. So in terms of I mean, I'm tempted to look at the Cups. You look at Newcastle game, but I think if you know Arteta, the kind of person he's not coming to try to win the conference, the Carabao Cup. He wants to win the league. He wants to win. That's what he's going for. Either you win it or you die trying, as they say. So for me, I think the game I would reverse. It might not seem by much, but it's the Liverpool game, because that's the only team that eventually is going to win the league. And we played 1-1 at home. We're leading
2-2.
2-2, sorry. And then Salah scored a late goal, I think. And that's the game. I feel like not just because it's 2 extra points and one point dropped for Liverpool extra, but just that momentum might have done something in the race. Maybe it might have dampened Liverpool's morale, something. But other than that, I can't say. In the Champions League, we were third in the group, so we're fine there. In the Cups, I mean, Newcastle won us one away, but changing one of the legs, it's not. If Arsenal win the Carabao Cup this season, I'm not going to be jumping and saying, "Oh, we won the Carabao Cup." It doesn't mean anything to me. So the FA Cup, yeah, it's our heritage, but still the most successful FA Cup team. But we'll fight on that day. So at that day, the only one I can think of is the Liverpool game, or maybe the Man City game. Just like I said, winners win that game. That's just how I felt about that. That day I won that game and I was just like, we're not winning the season.
And it was a deflected goal. I think it was a deflection, the equalizer.
I don't care. You've done so well. The whole world has praised you for defending with 10 men for a whole half against the most attacking team. You got to just see to the end. And once you don't do that, I'm really like thinking you're not having the luck of a champion. That's it. A champion will win that game. And that's where I saw it. So that's another game I would think about. But like I said, it's been a toss-up between those two matches.
Okay.
That game is fine. That's fine.
Okay, for my own answer, well, it's not to do with Champions League. Liverpool, we had already topped the group. Then we went to play PSV away. And then in the final group game. No, we're not top the group. We're going to finish first or second. Then, of course, like we all say, let's rotate. And we rotated. We carried our Team B, Team C players there. Of course, we lost. But the knock-on effect of losing that game allowed PSV to finish in the top 16 and pushed PSG into the playoffs. And then Liverpool met PSG. So if Liverpool had not lost against PSV, we would not have met PSG in the knockout rounds. So You see, so that's why the season changed because, of course, the PSG immediately we got them in the draw. We're like, man, this is like the toughest, and not just that draw, that side of the draw, because UEFA already made all that the draws. So that side of the draw is the toughest. Because if Liverpool had escaped PSG, would have met Villa or Bruges. Okay, we probably would have beaten Bruges, but Villa. People are saying, Villa is Emery in Europe. Don't joke with that guy. So we would have met Villa. It would have been tough, and then we would have met Madrid or Arsenal. So that side of the draw was so tough. Compared to the other side of the draw. So I mean, just losing that match to PSV put us in a whole lot of trouble in Champions League, because at the end of the day, like people said, we just stopped the group for nothing. We just stopped that group phase and then got knocked out to PSG, which happens. People top their group and get knocked out, but it's just a bit annoying that you play 8 games, you top the league phase, and the next thing you draw PSG, one of the strongest teams left. And I mean, it's just because of, we're trying to preserve players' legs, we are rotating, let's take team B, team C. Yeah, we lost that, and the repercussion is we're out of the Champions League. So that's what I would have changed. Let me take, there's a comment here. Oh, okay. It says, damn sliding door. Sliding door. Yeah, it was. I mean, I think it's referring to my PSV and PSG rant. Yeah, that's what happened. Because, I mean, if we're not lost to PSV, they definitely wouldn't have finished top 16. And then they would have had to go play playoffs, and PSG would have not played Liverpool, basically. Yeah, so we're not doing too badly for time. 51 minutes, 51 minutes. So, yeah, even though I thought we were going to spend 2 hours here after you guys were going back and forth in the first topic. But we're doing well. So we go to another hypothetical, yeah. Because I've seen, I don't know whether you guys watch this. It's on Apple. There's this guy, it's an American guy that came to coach in England, basically. Ted Lasso, yes, people are saying Ted Lasso is coming back. I mean, they want to do a new season, but it's about the female team. So that got me thinking, okay, it's based on hypothetical. What if your club was a TV show? Who would be your lead actor? Who will be the villain? I know the answer for this one for Chelsea. I know Benny's answer, but I'll indulge you, Benny. Go ahead. Who will be your villain?
You can start Obi now. I don't have to start every time. Let me
sorry. Okay, I thought, sorry. Don't vex. Obi, yeah, I was sorry. I actually thought I started with Obi the last time. Obi, please, fire.
Yeah, so for me, lead actor, I mean, Arsenal, true and true. The story is not complete. That's all I'll say. The story is not complete. The drama is there. After we like drama, we always like to do things the hard way. So, I mean, that I was tempted to say Mikel Arteta, but nah, the Arteta is not enough. It's not strong enough. It has to be Bukayo Saka. That will make it.
Wow.
You can imagine the movie, growing up through the academy, facing racism, doing all this, breaking record, and eventually maybe being the man to score the winning goal in Champions League final. That would be the perfect story. So I think that has to be my lead actor there, right there, because the other candidate, of course, the other guys are too young. The Skellies and the Waneris are definitely too young. So because I think everything is top player, I get one of the best players in his position in the world, homegrown, academic graduate, very grounded family, no issues, no extra problems off the pitch. Everything's fine. Just a guy that just is all about his business. So that has to be my lead candidate. And of course, there's enough drama and enough intrigue with racism and other things that will make a good story and a good movie plot. For me, the villains, I was tempted to say the owners, but I actually like the owners now. Since they got full ownership of the club, they've been spending money. They have been backing the manager. They have been spending money. And this one but the villain was actually difficult for me. But I'm thinking it has to be, and it's hard to say now because we don't really know sometimes all these directors of football, what they're doing, who's doing what. But I have to say the people who are in charge of finalizing transfers. Because this moving from last season to this season, it was such a letdown in the summer of not moving to the next step, not buying. If you think about it, we bought Calafiori, who is arguably now backup left back. We bought Merino, who is backup midfielder. So you pretty much our striker. You pretty much did not strengthen the team. These are the teams that has come so close Everybody's saying it's young, and you just did not push the needle. And I know their fear, like I said, we've talked about it already. They sometimes struggle with mid-term, long-term goals to immediate goals. You can say, well, I didn't find the player I needed, so we're just going to try what we have. The players are good enough. Well, this season. You've pretty much lost the season. So next season, we don't know what's going to happen. Next season, Saka can pull his ACL. We don't know. Like, nobody knows. So the fact that in January they were able to just give up. And I like pretty much, let's call it what it is. They gave up. It's not, they just felt, why spend money on a player we don't really want to maybe challenge Liverpool? We might not still catch them. So why waste this money? Let's just wait till next season and then buy the players we really want. But that is, like you said, they pretty much gave up. So immediately that happened, for me, I was just like, okay, I know what it is. I know the end justifies the means. So if next season or 3 seasons in a row now they win the league 3, I won't complain about this season. But for now, until that happens, I am going to complain. So, like I said, these are the football people. They know what they're doing. If summer comes now, they buy the players they want to buy, we go on and win the league next 3 seasons, all Arsenal fans will be jumping and be bantering everybody, right? And we'll forget about this season where we had to suffer. But until that happens, I cannot assume that that's going to happen. So all I can do is live my current reality, which is you gave up on this season because you just felt it wasn't worth it spending this money on players we don't want to give us a chance. The people I pity most are the managers and the players because the players are fighting every day. And you can see the way Arsenal players play. They are fighting for the manager. They're trying to win games. Merino is not a striker. He's trying. Everybody's trying. But you did not. Declan Rice came out and said the club has to buy a player because you can see Kieran Tierney is playing left wing. He came out on public TV and said that. So the players are the ones I pity the most because you can't force them. But all I can say is they gave up on the club. I mean, if they go on, like I said, if I go on and win the next 3, 4, 5 seasons,
okay.
Nobody will complain. But for now, until that happens, I have to live this reality, which is you gave up because you felt it wasn't too much to risk of money to try.
Yeah, they don't want to take the chance.
Let me just leave it the way it is. And that is why, like I said, we're probably going to finish 2nd or 3rd this season because they just did not want to push to try and salvage this season. They just felt, well, let's think long term.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, Benny, we come over to you. Who will be the lead actor for Chelsea Football Club and who will be the villain?
So obviously, I think the easy answer, or the answer you expect, Ola, is that I would say the villain will be the owners and the lead actor or whatever would be, I don't know, one of the players, Kopama, whatever. I don't
know. I don't even know who your lead actor would be. So please tell me. Educate me.
Lead actor, sir. Honestly, from that little perspective, you don't have a lead actor. Anyway, forget all that. I don't even care about the owners. Let's go. Let's take it a step back because I like to deal with root cause issues. My villain is none other than the UK government, not even Putin.
Hey, well done.
UK because here's the thing. If you claim that this guy who is an oligarch is this criminal mastermind or whatever, well, you've been okay with him being in your country for 20 years, investing, paying taxes, and people like him coming in to pay taxes and everything, you're fine with that. And all of a sudden, because of this, virtue signaling war, let's accuse this guy of having an influence on the Russian government and having a part in the war and everything, let's sanction him and take away everything, all his investments, everything, and just hold everything like that. All because of virtue signaling, pretty much. That's all it is, virtue signaling. Because, the war is bad. Okay, who's related to the war? You're Russian, you have money. You must be related to the Russian government. Bam, sanctions. The EU recently downgraded the sanctions on Abramovich, saying that, we initially accused him of having undue impact to the Russia or effects on the Russian government and having an impact on the war, but downgrading that out because there's no way he has any impact on any of that. and they didn't think about. I'm sure the decision making there in just slamming him was just to placate people. They are the ones that put my club in the state it is right now. Not Putin starting the war. That's another issue. But the UK government caved to sentiment around everywhere and just took this from my club. Obviously, I'm being a selfish guy as a Chelsea fan. Why would you want to take this guy that actually loves my club, that actually goes to matches, that actually is involved with everything and wants to win trophies and is the sole reason why Chelsea is a household name today? Why would I want that guy to go away? I'm selfish about that. So I'm very salty about that. My villain is the UK government and all those guys in their Congress,
House of Parliament,
Commons and Lords and whatever. Those guys, House of Parliament, all of them, they're the villains here. And my lead actor, obviously, is a guy that's fighting against discrimination just because he has money and is related to the crazy person, Roman Abramovich. The guy is there sitting day in, day out, watching two bozos ruin his pet project, ruin his baby. Those two bozos, Bully and Egbali and his clinic and all that. Watching two PE money-hungry guys just come in there and change a winning club's mentality into a selling club. Because that's what Chelsea is right now. We're not selling yet because their plan hasn't come to pass. But if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and moves like a duck, it is not a damn tiger. You know for a fact Chelsea are buying young players, trying to flip them on the market in a few years. And Father Lord, this is Sunday. Please help. May it not work out for them. All these players that are buying them for money, for profit, may those profits, because the thing is that they don't understand that performance actually affects the quality, the value of your players. If you're not performing well, your players will not be highly rated. If you're not highly rated, you can't sell them for high prices. That's something they don't understand. Getting rid of all the experience in your team, getting rid of all the older guys just because, we want a smaller team, I want to flip them and all that, that goes counter to whatever plans of flipping players you have. You can't have a team of babies. No matter how talented they are, you cannot have a team of babies. So it sounds like I'm anti-Chelsea, but I'm Chelsea through and through. I want us to succeed. But the owners, they are not it. We are not succeeding under these owners. No be swear. No be curse. The owners are terrible. And any fan that believes, and the thing with fans sometimes is so short-sighted. They are unable, they don't want to see, let's talk about root cause. No. Let's just win this game. Let's just win this game. That's the mentality. And it's so short-term. It's like, what's the name of that fish that has, is it goldfish? That has a short
goldfish.
Goldfish. Once you see, this thing pay me, we lost this game. 2 games later, we beat Southampton 4-0. Oh, Chelsea is back. Forgetting how we capitulated against Ipswich Town 2-0 a few days ago. So I'm sorry. I'm very much a big picture person. I see things from like, this is the cause, this is the effect. Even if the effect hasn't shown up yet, which I know to show up eventually, this is the effect, and we are going down the road of, changing the mentality of this club. And I don't want to be the new Tottenham. I was going to say Arsenal, but Arsenal at least they are winning sometimes. They're getting to top 2, whatever. They're always in the talk of whatever. We're not in the good talks. I do not want to be an almost team. I don't want to be that. So I will complain until I can complain no more. So lead actor, villain, UK government. Nothing for you to say. Nothing for you to say anything. Whatever I want to say.
I'll say my own because Benny has given a world-class answer, a master class in answering this question. I didn't see this coming, but that was a fantastic answer, to be honest. Yeah. I'm not a big, like you can see, I'm not a big fan of UK government either. So I'm all on board with Benny, slaughtering them, firing them, cooking them. And for me, my lead actor probably, the current crew. It will be maybe Andy Robertson. It will be a bit left field, and it's a left back, but I'm going with a left field shout. The reason being, if I know other fans probably don't follow him well, but he has that snack. He has a bit of that aggression. He's Scottish. He has that humor. He has the experience, and he has gone through tribulations this season. In fact, me, among many others, have called for him to be sold. They are tired of him because it was just the way Saka just skinned this guy at Emirates, finished him, and it has gone downhill For a few months, he went downhill from there. Like it was so bad. But then he bounced back. And for every TV show, there has to be an arc. The rise, the fall, the rise, the fall. So this season, he started well. He fell, so to speak. He's rising again. He's 30 years old, going to be 31. So it's not like he has many years left. But he just embodies the spirit of Liverpool. It's not like he's the most talented left back out there. But this guy, he fights for the shirts. He's full of aggression. His humor is fantastic. Like, he banters a lot. And he has that snack. He has that. He's one of the few Liverpool players who can say has dark arts, which every team needs that. You need players that have a bit of dark arts. This guy, we played against Messi, against Barcelona. He was pushing Messi's head. He tackled Messi, pushed it. Messi was complaining to the referee. That referee, didn't you see this guy smashed my head. The referee said we didn't see it. And Robertson is the kind of player that is only in Liverpool. I don't think any other player would have done that. Only Robertson would have done that. So he'll be my lead actor.
He's an asshole. That's what you're saying. Because
yeah.
He is an asshole. Yeah. Which is
that kind of player that
teammates. It's not a bad thing sometimes.
Exactly. Like in your club, you want those kind of players. Of course, opponent anything, because he even talks a lot. Do you remember there was last season or 2 seasons ago, an assistant referee elbowed him because he was talking too much after the match. Now Liverpool fans were shouting, look at this assistant referee just elbowed this guy in the mouth. Literally, it was caught on camera and nothing happened because Robertson was just talking. He's that kind of player that can wind you up, opponent will hate him. But you need those kind of players. You need the fear of those players in your club, because you can't all be goody two shoes if you want to win stuff. So that's why I like him.
You just be Arsenal if you're goody two shoes. Just fancy.
Please, I don't want trouble. Why? This is Sunday, Benny, I beg you.
Oh, by the way, maybe I should have changed the spelling of my name. It's actually just Benny, Benny. It's pronounced that way. It's not like Yoruba.
Oh, Benny the jaded. But this one is not jaded though. This one you're just training Benny. You're just training judo kick.
Arsenal have won 14 FA Cups, 13 league titles. We are a solid club. We're not a small club. I mean,
I get that before.
You're missing an European Cup, yeah? You're missing an European Cup.
We will get it soon.
Soon and very soon. That's the same story every time.
Please let me answer my question. No, I'm not finished answering my question. Okay. Me, my own villains are very predictable. My villains are predictable. They are the owners. And everybody else, they know since I've always condemned and criticized Liverpool owners. And I'll keep on, I'm like Benny. I'll keep condemning and criticizing them. Because let me tell you, this season, people are praising Slots. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that's good. He came in. They didn't buy one player for him except one player. They bought one player for him, sorry. Chiesa. Why did we buy that player? Because he was cut. His price was 10 million. So we're like, man, this is a bargain. Apart from that, they won't have bought this guy anybody. And even he doesn't even use him. He barely uses this Chiesa. That shows he didn't even want the guy, because they just went to buy this guy for him. And of course, like you guys say, the end justifies the means. We are probably going to win the league. They'll shout and say, yeah, we did well. But let me tell you, we have 3 players on their final 2 months. Van Dijk, Salah, Trent. They're about to go. This owners opened their eyes. For the past 3 years, they didn't talk about contracts. They let this in drag. Now these players all about to go for free. And we have gaps that we have to plug. We're not even talking about the gaps that we needed to plug before this season. So these players are probably going to go, or maybe they'll keep one of them and bounce the other 2. So those ones are going. Our strikers, even though we might win the league, Darwin Núñez, that guy, the way he misses chances is spectacular. He doesn't just miss chances, he's spectacularly missing chances. So we're going to sell him. Diaz, they're already talking that Barcelona wants him. So that one might go. Jota, made of creeps, always injured. So we need 2 forwards. Let me tell you, this player, do you know what they now started putting out in the media? They are the masters of media, and that's why some fans will always say, why are Liverpool fans complaining about the owners? These owners are media savvy. They make themselves look. I always say they are Glazers. They are the Glazers with good PR. They have fantastic PR. Every season, they behave as if they are doing Liverpool a favor. As in owning the club, they are doing us a favor for owning the club. It's true, they don't chop money from the club. It's not like they're actually stealing money from the club. but their lack of ambition has held us back so many times. So that's why I empathize with Ovi when he says there are seasons, we go into seasons. There are many times we have not bought players at all because they'll say, oh, this squad is so good, we are waiting for the next level player, so we'll not buy anybody. And then injuries will happen. The season will just scatter. Bam. It has happened twice, at least twice. This something regular that we have seen. They are going into next season now. They're already saying, all this money that we just signed a new deal with Adidas, so let's not forget. We're about to win maybe the Premier League. We made plenty of money. Champions League, we are making money. Do you know what they're already leaking stories that actually, if we renew Van Dijk, if we renew Salah, it's going to affect our transfer funds going into next season. They are leaking that already. Last week, they're already leaking it. They're because they have journalists that are friendly to the club who make stories on their behalf and make them look good. They're saying this is going to compromise our funds for transfers. What are you telling me? We have been making millions upon millions every season. And you're telling me that just renewing contracts for these 2 or 3 players, we won't be able to buy player again. What kind of nonsense? And people will keep telling me this, oh, these guys are the best. They're the best owners. They are fantastic owners. They are not. They are not. They're businessmen who are good at recruiting. That's what I'll give them. They're good at putting people in good positions. So, like Slot now, like who knew about Slot? We didn't know about Slot. They managed to recruit him, and he looks to be a good manager. So they are good at recruiting, which is good. But lack of ambition is not good, and I cannot forgive lack of ambition. Lack of ambition has cost us some trophies over the years. When Klopp was there, Klopp should have won more. But Klopp was like Wenger. Klopp was a what they call club man. Klopp never called them out. Klopp never called them out at all. He was, oh, these owners are doing all right. I mean, if it was somebody like Conte or Mourinho, he would have called them out. But Klopp, it was just like club man, and so they got away with a lot of nonsense that they were doing. They got away with a lot, and Klopp was good at making the most of what he had. Because Klopp, he's good with youth players. It brings them through. So it covered a lot of deficiencies. But let's see next season. These villains, and I'm calling them villains, let's see. Their true color will show next season. Let Salah, Trent, and Van Dijk go. And then let us see how we will now finish top 4. Let us see what magic they will pull. The people are saying they are fantastic. This league title, I'm happy if we win it, but I'm like, Benny, this league title might cover a lot of cracks that we will suffer for the next 5 years. I'm not predicting it, but if it happens, don't be surprised. This league title might cover a lot because that squad, people don't know that squad needs a lot of work. Like I said, Robertson, left back, is declining. Costas is not a good. Trent is going. So who's our right back? Our right back is Conor Bradley, who is getting injured a lot. He's getting injured every 3 or 4 weeks. So we need a right back. Van Dijk is going. Konate has not signed a contract. Konate this season, he said, oh, they brought a contract to me. I did not want to sign it. So Konate has not signed a contract and he's entering the final year. That's another trouble. We have so many problems in that squad. So if we win this league title, it will just prepare a lot of cracks, and they'll tell us these owners have done well. Yes, well, okay, they won the league title, but let me tell you, I see danger ahead. I see danger, like Benny says. Sometimes you don't see the effect straight away. The cost is already there, but people will celebrate and praise them. But then maybe 3-4 years down the line, we'll see the true effect of this season. Those are my villains. Those are my villains. We go to Kudos and Donkey of the Week. I'll start with Ovi. Kudos and Donkey of the Week. Do you have any as we round up this podcast?
Kudos, another one of my Arsenal. But no, like I said, we are the Arsenal. They love to hate us. So we are the Arsenal. They love to hate us.
You are looking for trouble, You are looking for trouble,
Miles Lewis Kelly on his English debut, national team, going from under 17 all the way to senior team and scoring as the left back. I mean, that's the youngest scoring debutant for England. Let the haters hate. That's all you can do your own stuff. So he has to get the kudos. For Donkey, I was actually struggling. I don't really have. I've been thinking what's been going on since I've been a little quiet. I don't want to. I've already talked about the Arsenal transfer and all that, which left a lot of us unhappy. But I mean, I can see their mistake, and like I said, I'll give them a benefit of the doubt. If like you said, you feel like the effect of this season might be felt later for Liverpool, I'm hoping for the reverse for Arsenal, that the suffering of this season, we'll see the benefits in the next few seasons, and then we'll be like, oh, we are fans. That's why we are fans. We didn't see this picture coming forward. So that's what I'm hoping.
I hope so too.
So I don't want to. I don't want to go in any further on them. So I'm struggling for a donkey. I can't really.
Yeah, you don't have to have a donkey of the week. Yeah, you don't have to. Kudos. Miles, MLS. What do you call him? MLS. Miles
Yeah.
Lewis Kelly. Yeah,
Yeah.
MLS. He did well. He did well.
Yeah.
And Benny.
For him.
Sorry, Benny. I said Benny. Sorry.
Because
It's the Yoruba in me. You know,
it's
that's the way we pronounce it.
What's Yoruba find every word you see.
It's the Yoruba in me. Don't vex. Okay, yeah, you can go.
Right.
You can go ahead with your kudos and donkey.
I'll start with kudos. I was torn between two. I'm a huge, as a Chelsea fan, I have a very, very soft spot for Thomas Tuchel. So seeing, him take over, the English team for the first time, and just remembering that just the way he talks in the media is a straightforward guy, no BS, no, like he's very, very German when it comes to like analyzing things, and it's kind of a breath of fresh air. But that's not going to be my main kudos. My kudos of the week is going to be Victor Osimhen.
He took it from my mouth.
Oh man, that's a striker. That is a striker.
Yes.
Yes. That second goal, that's what you want from a striker. Like someone that strikes fear in the heart of like defenders. Like he's not very assuming, but our boy gingers. He is tall, lanky, and he's just a thorn in your flesh. And man, I just wish he stays. I hope he stays like healthy because he's been struggling with some injuries, whatever, over the last couple of years. But yeah, that is a striker, and it's very nice to find a striker, like that's in Nigeria. And honestly, the donkey of the week is kind of related to that because seeing what Nigeria played against Rwanda there just makes me even more upset about how we find ourselves in this situation. My donkey of the week, even though he didn't do anything this week, but because of how he put us in this situation, Fini the judge. I am disappointed in a legend like that who lets personal, I don't know if it's ego or whatever, get in the way of not just his success, but the success of the nation in general. And the fact that he tried to paint Osimhen as this bad guy or whatever, and look at us now, struggling, trying to survive just to stay in contention for the World Cup. And imagine a World Cup in the US. We're here in the US. Imagine a World Cup in the US without Nigeria here. How sad would that be? How sad would that be? So, donkey of the week, Fini the judge again.
Yeah.
My guy is sitting and I'm chilling, watching the game on TV. He's going to be donkey again this week. Bam.
I don't dispute that at all. And basically, you took the kudos of the week from. I mean, that's what I was going to say. Osimhen, the two goals. The first one, Poacher's finish, half volley, bang, straight in, no frills. That's it. Get the ball in the net. Argue later. That's it. And then second one is classic. That one is like even the finish because like I said, we have Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez gets in that situation and he'll blast it. He'll blast it over the bar. But Osimhen got in that position and just dinked it, full of confidence. That not everything has to be blasted. Man, I feel it's undervalued, maybe because he's playing now in Turkey and because of all the situation. But I just think he's a top class player, and that's why you see many of the clubs are after him. Of course, maybe he'll probably get a big move in the summer. And also, I back up your Finidi. Though Finidi is not really my donkey of the week, but he was one of my favorite players growing up, Finidi. But as a manager, he was woeful. It was woeful. That personal beef that he did with Osimhen was just that just turned me off him. I was arguing in the WhatsApp groups and some people were supporting Finidi. I was like, man, as a coach, you don't do what they did. You don't do what he did, and you don't do what he did. So, but for my own Villa and donkey of the week, would probably I don't really have any big stake with the US national team, but I mean, Pochettino, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, Pochettino? What are you doing losing to Panama, man? Seriously, I mean, what's going on there? Seriously, Pochettino, like, come on, seriously. It felt when I saw the result, I was thinking, was it a friendly match? Then I realized actually it's not really a friendly match; it's a competitive match. You actually lost to Panama. What's going on? So I always thought he was a decent manager, but I can't really back him. But since he left Spurs, I can't think of any major thing he has really achieved. So all the people who are the naysayers, who keeps, there's one guy in our group, Ben Vido, who calls him the fraud. It's like this guy just proving those people. He's proving them right. He's proving them right because he just keeps. He's going from bad result to bad results. I mean, I know maybe next year, maybe US will now win World Cup and we'll look like fools. But at the moment, it's my donkey of the week. It's my donkey of the week. Yeah, so I think we can all wrap up this fantastic podcast. I mean, you guys have been brilliant and it's also a blast having you guys on. But I'll just do some housekeeping before we finish and then round up for this particular episode. So our YouTube handle once again is at Footy Fantasy, Twitter at Footy AD Fantasy, Instagram it's at Fantasy Footy, and team music that we're about to hear is from SJ Music. So Ovi, Benny, sorry for pronouncing your name wrong all through. Apologies. Yeah, but thanks for correcting me because if you didn't correct me, I wouldn't have known. I would just pronounce it the Yoruba way all the way.
It was funny to me. What is funny? Benny, okay.
Honestly, I just saw that. Oh, wow, this is the Yoruba version. Well, thanks for joining us. I mean, you guys were fantastic. We're happy to have you. And we're about to do the outro, and we'll catch you all next week. Thank you for all the comments, Henry, Ayo, Ogakwame, and thank you all for the support. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing will reach your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes will see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing will meet your football need. Your football need. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. Sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. Your eyes go see. Footy Fantasy.